And welcome back to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is ITC Sportsball. And of course, I am your man, Jerome Span. And of course, we've got the normal team with us. We've got that hot take spitter, the man who rips like Dylon spits. He is that man.
You know it's your boy Mase, and you know it's gonna be a hot one when Rengoku show up. So get ready.
Of course. He's bringing all the hot fire today. All the hot fire. And of course, we have that man. He is ITC's resident troll. He is the dude that when he sees that you got some passion, he's like, well, let me just see if I can throw some fire on this and see where we can push this to. Here's that man, Daryl.
Hey, yo.
That's where we start today, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we start. And of course, we have to start this show with the hot news from this week in the NFL. And of course, there was some more spicy added to it as of yesterday, with now all the quarterback movement and potentially more movement that we're going to see with Baker Mayfield on his way out. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen at this point, Deshaun Watson is being traded for three first-round draft picks, ladies and gentlemen.
I think like 2 seconds and then some thirds or some it's not just 3 first rounders.
It's absurd. So earlier in the week, we saw the Packers make a big trade, shipping Davante Adams to the Raiders and him signing up on a 5-year deal with the Raiders. But the Packers got back what, in my mind, is a great package. They got 2 picks in this year's draft in a year when they are very cash-strapped. But to the greater point of what we're talking about, Mase, what is the move that has been made over these past 2 weeks since all the technical free agent tampering and all these other BS periods that we know these guys are talking behind the scenes anyway, right? What is the moves that you think are going to be the most consequential?
I would say J.C. Jackson to the Chargers. I think that one's probably going to pan out immediately. Like there's no waiting to see if that's going to work out. That is an immediate upgrade to their situation, to their secondary.
I mean, hell, they had to bring in Chris Harris last year to try and sew some of that up. And we know Chris Harris ain't got it.
I see the J.C. Jackson move, and also staying in the AFC West, Chandler Jones to the Raiders. I think that one's also going to pan out very well for them, more so than Davante, solely because Derek Carr is his college quarterback, but like, are we so sure that Derek Carr, now with an upgrade at receiver, is going to show us more than what he's given us to this point? I mean, it's not like Derek Carr's a young quarterback anymore. Like, a man is very seasoned. So I see it. Their moves, I think the Chandler Jones move has the potential to be the bigger move, given the state of that division, of how it's imperative that the opposing quarterback has no time. Like, it's imperative. There is no, we can hold up in the back line, none of that. No, get to him. 4 seconds or less.
Well, here's where I got to disagree with you. I think the Davante Adams move is huge for them too. I don't want to say that you're wrong on the Chandler Jones thing. That's not what I mean by this. But what I mean is that last year we watched Derek Carr go out there with a bunch of bums and no names, Mase, and ball out. He got that team to the playoffs. I mean, let's be honest. We know that defense was not great for the Raiders last year, right? That's one of the big reasons why they're bringing in Chandler Jones. So I have to say, I get it, what you're saying, but I think that Davante thing is going to be huge because they already had a running game that they can depend on, and now you have a true number one wide receiver that you know already has a connection with your quarterback. I think that's big. Daryl, of any of these moves that have been made, do you feel like anybody went wrong here? Do you feel like anybody just went completely sideways and you're like, what the hell were you even thinking?
Well, everybody has a plan, like these trades, everybody going. I think everybody's doing like their right decision. Like they have to have a plan. They're not doing crash dummy trades. I wouldn't say that.
Oh, they're doing the Madden computer trades. They ain't doing those.
Man, we're not pressing triangle or freaking Y to freaking simulate the freaking draft. Well, they have to have a plan. So if they think they're making the right decision, they're making the right decision. I'm not gonna. We gotta see when they play. I don't put no trades. Don't mean nothing to me. You better just have a plan to win. That's all I'm saying. Winning is the key.
That is very true. So I have to ask, before we get to the 300-pound gorilla in the room here with Deshaun Watson, I have to ask Mase, what do you feel is going to happen now with Baker Mayfield? Do you feel like he is going to end up with a quality team, or do you see him getting shipped out somewhere where they're in the middle of a rebuild? Because we know when we talked about this at the beginning of this season of ITC Sportsball, the Browns were in a trick box with Baker Mayfield. And because of what happened this year, they weren't in that trick box anymore. They played it smart, which me and you, we didn't think that they were going to do. We thought at some point they were going to give in and pay him that money, which would have been a huge mistake, right? But they didn't. Now they can ship him out. Where does he end up, though? Who do you think is going to believe in the Baker Mayfield hype at this point?
Who do I think believes? I don't think really anybody believes. He can talk about this whole underdog, him against the world, but he was a Heisman Trophy winner and the first round draft pick. You're not an underdog, my boy. You are a bust. Underdogs are drafted in the 3rd and 4th round and 5th round. You were the Heisman Trophy winner and the number 1 overall pick. You're not. There is no chip on your shoulder. You're the chip on everybody else's shoulder. Stop it. So let's just start there.
So where's he going to end up, though? But where do you feel? Because I agree, 100%. You're right. His whole "I got a chip on my shoulder" stuff. It's played its course with me on Baker Mayfield. He just is a guy that has little man syndrome at this point in my book. So who's going to trade for him, though, Mase? What team do you think is going to put it on the line?
I would say the Colts, man, because that team is solidly in place, that if they just get a consistent quarterback from week 1 to week 18, they're in good to great playoff position, because we've seen this team has overcome Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers.
Yuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this team has overcome so many subpar quarterbacks. If you just get somebody to be consistent from week 1 to week 18, they can. That division is up for grabs, even more so now that Deshaun Watson is gone, and we're not sure if he. And like we weren't even sure if he was going to play this season for the Texans, anyways. But that division is up for grabs. Tennessee's kind of probably peaked out at what they can become with Tannehill as quarterback. So
he got exposed this offseason. This playoffs, he got exposed.
That team has peaked at what it is capable of. So the Colts are in prime position to win that division over the next few years before, or if Trevor Lawrence and they figure it out down there in Jacksonville. So they're in prime position to take a hold of that division right now. And so I would say that they would be the team that pulls the trigger, brings Baker in, and hopes for the best.
I have one team that I think outside, because I agree with you, that would probably be the best move for the Colts at this point with their limited options.
That would be the best move for Baker Mayfield, because the Colts they've shown you they don't care who their quarterback is, they're turning around and handing the ball off.
Yeah, you ain't lying. But I think the only other option, and Mase, you're gonna laugh when I say this, but you're gonna know what I'm saying is true. The New York Football Giants. You know it. You know they love a dude that is like Baker Mayfield, that looks like him, that has that attitude and stuff. You know they love it. I could easily see them saying, since they missed out, because remember the initial reports when free agency and stuff was first getting ready to come up, is that they were going to get Trubisky to compete with him. Now they don't have anybody to compete with Daniel Jones. I could see them saying, we'll bring Baker Mayfield in, and whichever one of you guys wins the job, wins the job.
Well, didn't they brought in Tyrod Taylor to be the competition?
You stop
Hey,
that
bro.
right now.
Hey, bro. I'm just telling you. I'm just reading you the Adam Schefter reports, bro. They brought in Tyrod Taylor to be his competition.
You stop it right now. You stop that. Listen, Mase, black quarterbacks have come a long way. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay? We don't have to do that anymore. Mase, Tyrod is a backup. He is a career backup at this point. Okay? I have supported Tyrod his whole career. I felt he got done wrong in Buffalo, right? But dog, come on, baby. Come on,
man. I'm just like I said, I'm just reporting the facts as they get reported to me, bro. He is there to challenge Daniel Jones.
But wouldn't they rather have a younger quarterback that has the aesthetic that they like?
Obviously, yes.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But now we have to talk about it. This whole stuff with Deshaun Watson that has happened. And as of this point, right, it's 22 women that have put in their name to a to paper to go in a lawsuit against this man. Okay. Yes, he has not been charged in the court of law for any crime relating to any of this yet. 100% that is factual. But I'm gonna just have to ask y'all, if you were a Browns fan, how would you feel about this at this point?
Daryl, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? Bro, oh man, this is tough, bro, because the civil suits are still there. They're obviously not criminal. He's not going to jail. He's not receiving any jail time. But he's going to have to pay out to get these things to go away, which is going to give off the illusion of guilt. But man,
what's the guilt?
I mean, he's like I said, the civil suits are still there.
Okay.
It's just the criminal that's thrown out the window. He's not going to be indicted for anything. But these civil suits probably won't go away until he makes a payout to these women and lawyers and whoever else is trying to still drag his name in the mud. But you have to be optimistic, bro, because he's an obvious upgrade from Baker. You didn't give up any players in the process of acquiring him. The team is fairly young as it is. You have to be optimistic. You can kind of be like, we like him, but you can kind of grit your teeth a little bit about it. But you have to be happy as a Browns fans to see this, because now you have a guy that is more than likely going to be the best quarterback on the field, barring matchups with maybe 2 to 3 other guys. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be happy there. You have to.
Daryl, how would you feel if you were a Browns fan right now and knowing that all of this civil litigation is still sitting over Deshaun Watson's head? How would you feel?
How would I feel? A Browns fan. Yeah.
Let's take Browns fan out of it. Let's say the Patriots traded for him, because the Patriots are your team. Patriots traded for him. How you feeling right now?
What are we doing? Do you see an opportunity that is going to actually get you a ring? No, I wouldn't say that. I would just say nah. You don't need any more drama. Like how much drama the Patriots had for the last like how many years now? You don't need any of that. We need to get focused back onto like the winning side just because we don't have the quarterback anymore.
But he is a top 5 quarterback though. He's top 5
quarterback. You could be top 5 quarterback, but you have to still produce something.
He was producing with nobody to block for him, nobody to catch the passes for him.
I learned this. Different environments change a freaking quarterback. That's like saying, hey, like just because like
I don't know about that.
So so for example, when Cam went back on the
Tannehill was the same guy in Tennessee that he was.
You still think that was the same Cam that actually took him to the Super Bowl?
Okay, but what you're saying is though, you're taking out the most important part of that. Why Cam was different. Cam that took them to the Super Bowl was in his prime. Cam that came back was washed. And you guys know I love Cam Newton, but my boy was washed this year, dog. He looked awful. Okay, god awful, terrible. Roll him up, throw him in the dumpster. Light it on fire.
We need another word for wash because you can't just say everybody's freaking washed.
What you mean? I don't say everybody's washed, but certain people, they washed. Okay. Certain people, they are washed. Okay. All right. And you know who else is washed? I'm gonna stick to it. I'm consistent with mine. Tom Brady is washed. Okay.
Just because he had a bad year. The year before he went to the Super Bowl. You can't do that.
I cannot wait.
You can't do that.
First, okay, let's talk about it then. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Now that everybody might be off their Tom Brady high from sniffing that Tom Brady narcotic, right? Let's talk about it. Okay. He tried to throw his team out of the conference championship game. If not for the fact that Aaron Rodgers decided he was going to do the same damn thing, the Packers would have been in the Super Bowl. Okay. Now let's talk about this some more. Tom Brady didn't play defense. Their defense won them the Super Bowl because if you remember correctly, if the Chiefs ever gotten the offense going, they had a chance to still win. It wasn't like the Patriots blew them out for 4 quarters. So again, let's talk about it. Now, let's talk about this. He then lost both of his guards who were 2 of the best in the game. Both his 2 guards that he had were both legitimately top 5 guards in the league. Both are gone. That's pressure coming up the middle. Tom Brady can't get away from anything. It's going to get rough this year.
I want to ask y'all, if he would have won with those missing, would you still have the same conversation?
He ain't about to win. Okay. All right. Hey, look, Tom Brady come back this year and ball out of control without them guards being there. Okay, cool. But hey, here's one thing that I know that is factual. Very, very factual. That team was looking pretty garbage down the stretch. So he's washed. And y'all gonna see it. Look, just remember, Jerome here at Sportsball told y'all boys this whole time. I keep telling y'all, he washed.
Because you got a bias. You got a Tom Brady bias.
He went to Michigan. What the hell am I biased with him for?
You always have a bias.
If
it's winning and it works, I got a bias.
That was just a hater. But you know what? To the point though, because I done got us all sidetracked talking about damn Tom Brady. Okay, if the Patriots traded for Watson, you trying to tell me that you wouldn't be for it because you actually don't think he's as good as what others view him? Is that what you're essentially saying to me?
It's all about the environment.
So you're saying he wouldn't be an upgrade, like he couldn't with the weapons that the Patriots currently have. You're saying that he's not an immediate upgrade and wins you at least 3 more games on the season? At least 3?
I don't worry about 3 more games in the season. I need some results.
But that's a winning 3 more games on the season, and y'all are winning that division.
No, it doesn't work like that because I put in injuries. I know something will happen.
3 more games in the season means that y'all are beating the Bills at least once. You're probably beating Miami twice. You're winning your division.
So I have to ask. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. So let me get this right. You think somehow Mac Jones is on equal footing with Deshaun Watson?
I never said that.
I mean, but then how are you not acknowledging what Mase is saying then?
But winning 3 games, okay, you can win those 3 games, okay, that 3 more, and then what happens after that? A fat L after that?
Which one is a known?
Is your division opponent, another win versus your conference opponent, and probably a playoff win.
Which one of those 2 quarterbacks have we actually seen play good in the playoffs? Mac Jones or Deshaun Watson? I'll wait.
Pressures.
Oh boy, yeah. The silence speaks volumes. But here's my thing: as a Bears fan, right? Y'all know how I feel about Deshaun Watson. That dude, he should have been our quarterback. We should have never had Trubisky. We ain't even gonna get into all that. We're just gonna address the issue for what it is. I'm gonna just say something, man. And I understand this man has not been charged with any crime, right, related to this. But that doesn't mean he's not guilty of what they're accusing him of doing. But 1 or 2 women, 3 women, maybe I'll give you some leeway. Maybe, just maybe, right? 22 of them? And you have this creeper propensity to be going after chicks on Instagram? And I know some people are going to be like, well, his lady stood by him. Just remember, Ray Rice punched his wife in the face, and she stood by him too. So that doesn't really mean much in this context.
She lived a rich life. She ain't got no time. She ain't got no time to be poor again.
Hey, you know what? She hear that Ted DiBiase, that money.
Listen, that guaranteed. Hey, she guaranteed a new Rolls Royce, my boy. She's guaranteed a whole day to go shopping where he shut down an entire mall. You know what I'm saying? That's the guarantee that she signed. That's the guarantee that she signed. She gets a one-on-one with a fashion designer from who knows where with this new guarantee. So stop this whole his woman stayed with him. You know what? My woman could beat me up too, but if she had that type of money coming in, I would say, huh? What?
May say, I'm gonna take these black eyes, man.
Hey, I'm already black. I just go out into the sun a little bit more to get darker, so you can't see them, huh? What? Huh?
This man promoting abuse. I'm done.
I'm not promoting abuse. I'm just saying I understand why people stay when the greenbacks is a little too heavy. Hey, you can't walk out the door when you're getting held down by enough greenbacks. You feel me?
Oh no! Oh God! I mean, look, Mase is saying the truth of the matter, which is how
I'm saying what a lot of people won't say in this situation.
No, he's being real.
When your backpack full of them greenbacks, it's kind of hard to walk away.
Facts. So I would just say this, right? So from the football perspective for the Browns, the move 100% makes sense, right? You will get an instant upgrade. You now have a franchise quarterback. You have someone who is a top 5 quarterback without a shadow of a doubt in the league currently, okay? But me if I was a Browns fan, I'm sorry, dog. Look, I understand the football side of it. I'm not with Uncle Touchy over here, bro. I'm not. I'm sorry, man.
You gotta grit your teeth on this one and take. You gotta love it, but I hate it.
He might win us a championship, but oh my God, it's gonna feel so dirty. And I'm cool on that, bro. Like, I know it sounds crazy because sports, we talk about all the time on here, right? How a lot of these teams are not actually out for winning, and now we're talking about a team that is clearly making a move that is based strictly off of winning, right? Nothing else is in play there except they feel like this gives them a better chance to win quickly. And I'm looking at it, I'm saying, I don't know if I make this move. If I'm an owner, I don't know if I can sign off on that, dog, because at some point the other shoe is going to drop on this, and whether it works out in his favor or whether it blows up, one way or another, the other shoe's gonna drop at some point.
Like how
And
he handles these civil suits is gonna be a big telltale in his true like what really happened in this whole situation, man, because it's probably going to be a payout and the civil suits will go away, but that payout is in an inadvertent way of saying I kind of did it, but shut up, please.
yeah, he's not wrong. A dude got to become president of the United States when people knew about him being an Uncle Touchy, creepy dude. Okay. So am I surprised that majority of NFL fans, like and especially Browns fans, are going to celebrate this? No. But I'm gonna just say, man, they better hope to God, Mase, that it don't drop on the other foot and all of a sudden he getting charged with something, because boy, that'll be the return of Fidel Goodell, baby.
Oh.
It's suspension. Bow. Right away. So we will see what comes of that. We'll break it down more after the draft, especially.
After seeing what the Texans do with these picks that they've gotten, especially from this year, I think we'll be able to really understand what Houston is trying to build there, and seeing who the Browns can bring up in free agency, because they are devoid of any receiving threats at the moment. But hey, man, there's some guys' names out there. I wouldn't even be surprised if Jarvis came back now, and seeing that he has a chance to actually play with a quarterback that's going to actually get him the ball.
Yeah, look, I will say this. I am not one of the people that expects the NFL to have a moral compass that is in the same direction as mine. I have no expectation of this at all, right? I know that they're always going to do whatever is best for business in their eyes. I know some of these owners have faced civil litigations, so they do not take this very serious because they brush them off too.
Right? They're
They
like,
don't think that it's
hey, my
anything.
boy, I'm gonna send you the dude that helped me through my situation. Just make sure you on the field, player.
Exactly. So how this ends up playing out, I think Mase is probably right. We probably end up seeing a settlement at some point to just make all of this go away. And if that happens, that means these women are going to have to sign a NDA. And we know how that goes. Some respect it, some don't. We'll see what happens. But I just, man, the whole thing, Mase, this whole situation just don't feel right. Bro.
As a Browns fan, you have to be taking like 3 showers a day at this point. You feel dirty, man. It's like you're happy, but you're dirty because you're happy. You're like, ugh.
I ain't gonna say it right when the report. I ain't gonna say who said this to us, but a friend of ours that's a Falcons fan, right? When we were talking about it with him yesterday, Mase, when it was looking like the Falcons were going to be the ones that end up getting Deshaun Watson, he was even willing to say, "Okay, cool. I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to get comfortable with Uncle Touchy." And then once it wasn't, he was like, "I'm kind of glad I don't have to because it just feels dirty, man. It just feels dirty."
Just that whole thought process just feels dirty, man. There's no way around it, dog. Like, I'm happy that he's not facing any criminal charges. So I'm happy for it.
I know,
but
at the same time, Greg Hardy never balled out for the Cowboys.
Yes. Oh my God. And that's that just goes back to just show you that at some point, as long as we don't have video evidence of what you did, people kind of these NFL owners and GMs kind of look past what you did. They can put up with a 6-game suspension if we didn't see what actually happened. Because I mean, people have to remember one simple fact: Ray Rice didn't get suspended until we saw the video. We knew that he beat his wife up in the elevator. We knew it.
We had heard the report that he had to drag her unconscious body out of the elevator, and he was not suspended until the video was there.
Yeah, we knew about this. We knew Ray Rice gave her that hook that gave her that haymaker. We knew he put her lights out. But until we saw it, he was still on the team. No questions asked. A little fine. A fine. Well, hey, bro, you just can't be doing this, dog. Hey, we need that. Pay it out real quick. That was it. There was going to be no more Ray Rice news until the video surfaced.
So, Mase, while we're talking about the Cowboys, got to ask you, through the totality of how this offseason has shaken out so far, how are you feeling about the Cowboys? Because from our personal conversations, right? It don't feel to me like you're feeling good, brother. Feel
I'm
like
upset,
me,
man.
like you like
I'm just be straight up with you. I'm upset. So I will commend Dallas on two things. One, they were able to not necessarily restructure. They just completely scrapped D-Law's deal and gave him a new one. And they saved like $14 million a year by doing so. So I commend them on that, number one. And I will commend them on flipping their cap situation. They went from being something like 22 million over the cap to when free agency actually started to being 36 under the cap. I'll commend them for that. But that is where the good feelings leave. You got a bag of chips. A bag of chips is too good. You got dirty gym socks and a broke down washer for Amari Cooper.
Sir, they got a package of nickels and 6 pennies for Amari Cooper. Get it right.
Then you have teams out there like the Bengals who are crying for offensive line help. Out there literally like, please, if our quarterback could stand in the pocket, I promise you, bro, we would be straight. And you can't send Lyle Collins out to nobody.
The Bengals out here.
To make it worse, literal, maybe hours. I would say hours just so I can feel a little bit better, but literal hours after he's released, who's he on the phone? Who's his agent on the phone with? Cincinnati. Huh?
Hey, the Bengals, that's because the Bengals over here. The Bengals over here like, hey, I got these cheeseburgers, baby.
How do you miss that opportunity for those two to give you? So I've kind of heard that Amari Cooper made too much money to get a lot. That's a lie. When Antonio Brown was traded, he was around 20 mil a year. When Stephon Diggs was traded, he had just signed a new 5-year contract. Just signed it. I mean, I can go down the list of teams who have gotten compensated for lesser receivers more. I mean, Santonio Holmes warranted a third. Who would you rather have, Santonio Holmes or Amari Cooper? He got a third from a team. Like, come on, man. Y'all got a 5th and a 6th. That 5th and 6th round pick won't even be on the 53-man roster this year.
But bro, you guys got to bring back Van Der Esch.
Fuck him.
Who believes in the Cowboys anymore?
And then you use the franchise tag on a tight end, and I promise you, there's not a single thing anybody can tell me that can make me believe that we could not have replaced Dalton Schultz with
what, y'all ain't got the nerve to Travis Kelce
in the 4th round. Listen, bro, there ain't a single thing you can tell me to make me believe that. And then I've heard that, okay, well, they put the tender on him. Who is going to give up a 1st or 2nd round pick for Dalton Schultz because they want him on their team more than you want him on your team? Ain't nobody gonna do that. That tender was just to make Dalton Schultz feel good about being franchise tagged. That's really all it was. It was like, hey, bro, we had to tag you, but hey, we'll put a tender on you. Like, $10 million for him? There's like
What
three
do you
tight
mean,
ends.
bro? He's the new Jason Witten for you guys.
There's 3 tight, and that is the exact reason why he got tagged, because Jerry likes these unathletic white dudes at tight end.
Well, don't you know who his boy was, right? Like who like he's legitimately like cool with because they went to school together, right? Don't you know? Ditka.
Oh God.
And Ditka played for the Cowboys.
Talking about these relics. But yeah, man, the whole good feelings
He
about
loves
the
the
Cowboys.
white tight end. Okay.
This whole good feeling about the Cowboys, man, everybody's like, oh, they've made some savvy moves. They brought in James Washington, who I mean, I feel like James Washington is a solid receiver. Like I'm not expecting much out of him. They needed the depth, but no, I'm not happy about James Washington. I mean, only thing that does is allows CeeDee Lamb to stay in the slot where they think he's a better option than he is out wide. Wrong, but to each their own.
At least you didn't know Cedric Wilson, though. At least
Oh
you
yeah,
didn't do that.
yeah. See that, and then this whole we have to keep our own. No, we don't. Like I'm happy Randy Gregory's gone. I'm happy for what? What do we need him for? You know what Randy Gregory's stat line would have been if he would have stayed with the Cowboys this year? I'm gonna give it to you right now. 4-game suspension, 7 sacks.
Yo, wow. You have no faith in my man, huh?
That would have been his stat line: 4-game suspension, 7 sacks, and people would have been raving if he would have had those extra 4 games. He would have had 15.
That math don't even add up, but
Exactly. People's obsession over Randy Gregory don't add up either. So I'm done with it. Can we move on? I'm pissed.
I
mean, that's up to you. I mean, are you good, bro? Like,
no, man, I fucking hate them right now, man. They making stupid moves. Why create all this money just to watch other people give money to the people that you want? Now, what is the point of creating that much cap space if everybody is gonna if you're just gonna watch everybody else give all the and what are you mad that you've given money to players that you haven't, so now you're overcompensating by not giving money to anybody? Is that what you're doing? Because that's what it seems like to me. And another move I'm happy about is that we're not like caving in to Jaron Kearse's his contract demands, because he's just another dude that's only good in the scheme. He ain't gonna be good nowhere else.
I'm gonna just say, how about them Cowboys?
Fuck them right now.
It should have been like that all year.
Hey, he sure wasn't saying that during the year, Daryl. He sure wasn't. Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
Yeah, shit, because things was looking up.
No, they fumble the bag every year. You need to stop.
Things was looking up. Shit.
Had the best offensive line in football and couldn't win a playoff game.
No, we ain't gonna call them that no more. They haven't been.
Y'all might as well just have.
Even when they was the best, y'all couldn't win a playoff game.
Yeah, that's just because Romo had to score 45.
Man, y'all don't need tools. Y'all just need people from the street. You might get a Super Bowl.
Bro, dudes from the street is the reason.
You don't even need tools. You don't need good players anymore. You just find somebody. You can probably find a 17-year-old.
According to Stephen Jones, you have to the cap pie chart is God. I mean, and then you got Les Snead over here talking about fuck them picks and just giving money to any and everybody. And then here comes old Stephen Jones with his cap pie chart over here. Like, I'm not a player. We got to have X amount of dollars.
I've watched 2 teams over the past like 5-6 years just say fuck the cap. The Saints and the Rams, and both of those teams have been basically good for all 5 of those years. So
I mean, even look at the Chiefs. Look at the money
Well, the
they
Chiefs,
gave.
the Chiefs are still doing it in a reasonable way, though. Like they paid Patrick Mahomes a lot of money, but they structured it in a good way to where it's not going to hamstring them over years. And also, they got guys like Matthew who were making big money that are now off the books for them. So it's balancing itself out for them. So we'll see what happens.
But yeah, like I said, the Rams and the Saints have pretty much just said, to hell with the cap. We're just going to have good players. And that's the end of it.
But I have to ask, Mase, we're seeing, again, the crying about the overtime rules as they are in play. Teams trying to get the overtime rules changed again. So everybody gets to touch the ball on offense because, defense is at half the game. But, cool. Look, man, I'm going to say it here, and I just want to know how you guys feel. Are y'all sick of everybody trying to give everyone this participation trophy of saying, well, you made it 4 quarters, so you should get to touch the ball in overtime? No, bitch, get a stop. Have you heard of getting a defensive stop? It is 50% of the fucking game. Get a stop. Stop crying to me about how your offense didn't get a chance to get on the field. Well, hey, how about this then? Holler at your defense and ask them boys why the fuck they could not get a stop. Sound reasonable to you boys?
I'm not mad at it though.
Fucking rule changes, man. I'm like I said, man. I ain't got time for this shit. Like, come.
Are we that soft now? Are we really that soft?
This stems, like, honestly, people are still on the high of that Chiefs Buffalo game. People are still riding the high of seeing them boys score like 20-some points in like 5 minutes. And then they're like, oh my God, I don't want this game to end. They both have to have the ball in overtime. No, they don't. You know what has to happen? Somebody's defense has to play well. And for all intents and purposes, the Bills had a top 5 defense last year. So there was a strong chance that the Bills defense could come up with that stop. Like there was a good possibility that if the Bills defense had to be out there, regardless if they were going against Patrick Mahomes or whoever else, that their defense is equipped to get one stop. That's all you gotta do. You knew if they got one stop, game over. Josh Allen was going to be promised land.
What's next now, Mase? In the 4th quarter, you can't shoot the clock anymore? Is that what's going to be next?
Exactly. Like when does this start? Like, are you going to have to snap the ball with 15, 20 seconds on the clock in the 4th quarter? Like what is when are we going to stop hamstringing defenses? And
my thing is this: at some point, though, you just have to. People have to stop this thinking that everything has to be just unilaterally, completely even fair. Listen, man, we have done coin tosses in football for forever and a day. If you go back and look, a lot of the times the coin toss determines who's going to win the damn game because it comes down to one possession, and that team that won the toss might just get one extra possession in the second half, right?
That coin's
That's how it goes.
That coin's rigged.
What you know what, man? Just go out there and play. Go out there and do the best 2 out of 3 in rock paper scissors.
Yep, yeah, rock paper scissors. Rock paper.
You know what? I got a better idea, guys. Why don't we just do? You guys remember how the XFL used to determine their who gets the ball first? Let's just go out there and do that.
Put the fastest dude out there and tell him to race to the 50 and go get the ball. You know what I'm saying?
That then. Because that has as much to do with football as this does. So let's just do that.
Why can't they have a reasonable possession? Like they should just have it. Like seriously.
Because you have 4 quarters. You have 4 quarters, Daryl. You have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4.
And you had a period in between those 4 quarters to make adjustments to figure some shit out.
Which a lot of coaches, they get exposed for them not having second half adjustments. I know the dude that used to be here that is now supposedly the head coach in waiting in Kansas City. He didn't make no adjustments. And I know Mace's guy don't make no damn adjustments. So that dude goes out there and he's like, It's 3rd and 7. Run the ball. 4th and 1. Throw it deep, baby. What the? Like what?
You know
It
what I'm
doesn't even
saying?
make sense. But that's what happens though when you have a bunch of retreads and guys that should never end up actually being head coaches getting a job as a head coach, right? You end up getting these lackluster ass coaches that when you look back at it, you say, how the hell did you even get a job in the first place? Unfortunately, you know, the third member of our crew here, Daryl, he has no idea what this feels like because his coach has thrived at fucking halftime adjustments for years. That's what Bill does. That's how he gets you.
I don't know y'all struggles. Sorry.
Right?
I
Like,
don't know.
Bill has a new defensive scheme for damn near every quarterback he goes against, bro. Like, how is that? Like, can we just take a moment to like, how is that, bro? Like, what
Because
is
he's a
that like to
defensive
know that
savant.
you have the better coach in almost every matchup? How is that? What is that like?
It feels like saying auto sim to everything. That's how that feels.
Now, if y'all could ever draft a receiver taller than 5'8" and bigger than 175 pounds, y'all be all right.
Oh my goodness. But while we're here on this football, Mase, I have to ask you, is Kirk Cousins the greatest legend at the bank ever, dog? Is he the one? Is he the one where legit you have to be like, I wish I could have his life. Constantly be told that I'm better than what I am and get highly overpaid all the time.
Since I want to say like 2017 or so, he's been on like a guaranteed contract, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is, go ahead and put that man in the Hall of Fame. I have put him in the Hall of Fame. We want him. That man there has legitimately oversold his client. Like, Kirk Cousins is a 500 quarterback at best. That's what he is. He's a 500 quarterback. I don't understand how does he keep getting this guaranteed money?
Just think about this. I believe at this point, Kirk Cousins has made more money than Peyton Manning ever made in his career as a quarterback. Daryl, do you think that Kirk Cousins should have been paid more in his career than Peyton Manning? I know you guys can't see it that are listening to us, but if you watch the YouTube feed, which make sure you go like the page Inside the Cage, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go watch that. You'll see our pretty faces. You'll see the logo. You know, I'm the prettiest guy on the show. But yes, you guys can see his face. Daryl had a look of utter confusion on his face. Like, how the hell did Kirk Cousins make more money than Peyton Manning? And it's because Kirk Cousins is a legend at the bank.
That's wild.
Isn't it wild to think about, right? Like Kirk, because Peyton Manning, it's not like he played. It's not like I was trying to compare it to somebody that played in the 80s or some crazy shit, right? Like, no, Peyton Manning, he retired relatively soon ago, and guess what? Kirk Cousins has already made more money than him, bro. Like, how, Sway? How? Oh, what it is. Hey, man, being a quarterback is a charmed life, right? It is unless you're a black quarterback, then you might have Bill Polian talk about how you need to move to wide receiver because you can run fast.
To hell with Bill Polian. I don't even know what. To hell with him.
Look, I'm sorry, man. If that was the mentality, which it was in the NFL for so long, no wonder so many of y'all jackasses kept getting fired. You over here, well, hey, you know, if we just moved him to wide receiver, you're stupid. You're stupid. Okay? It's just stupid. Stupid. And also, Mase, I'm happy to see that the Mitchell Trubisky hype seemed to all just be blustery bull put out by his agent with whatever reporters and stuff he was cool with, because that man got like, what, 2 years, 14 million, something like that. He ain't getting no money. Don't nobody believe in no goddamn Mitchell Trubisky. And that's just what I said. That boy is trash. He gonna be better than what Big Rape gave him last year, or excuse me, Big alleged rape. I don't want to get a suit. I don't want to get myself in trouble. A big alleged rape. Yeah, see, he gonna be better than him because that dude was trash for the past 2 years. I'm talking about you. Legitimately, there could be an argument presented that in the past 2 seasons, Ben Roethlisberger was the worst quarterback in the league, the worst starter for the past 2 seasons. It could be made. He was awful. So, yeah, but yeah. I think the Steelers is going to draft a quarterback, Mase, because ain't no Mike Tomlin has got to be like, y'all drafted me a quarterback, right?
You have to.
You drafted me a quarterback, right?
Hey, he probably right.
You drafted me a quarterback, right? Because yeah, Mitchell Trubisky's terrible. He's terrible. And look, don't get me wrong, people. I know I've been one here that has killed Matt Nagy for his coaching, but it's not Matt Nagy's coaching's fault that Mitchell Trubisky can't even hit guys that are open. That's not the coach, okay? If the coach called the play and the dude is open and you missed the throw, that's not the coach, okay? And trust me, there was a lot of that here in Chicago. But yeah, speaking of absolute insanity and the things that might drive you a little bit crazy, ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite segment of ITC Sportsball. This is Mase's Madness.
So it was brought to my attention yesterday that a member of the Sportsball team decided to say something flagrant, and I have to address him at this moment. Daryl, ain't no way I'm gonna let you survive by saying Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Super Saiyan God. Ain't no way. If you don't get your ass out of here, listen. The argument is easy to make because it's easy to make. It's technically the same universe, so you don't have to have any like cross power comparisons. I get it. Easy to make this argument, but you're wrong. You're very wrong.
Let's make this for accuracy for everyone. And I quote, this is Senior Daryl. I will say it is laughable that anyone says Super Saiyan God is stronger than Super Saiyan 4. Just think about it. Canon or not, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was facing a dragon that was infused with 7 Dragon Balls the whole fight and was winnable. But 2 Super Saiyan Blue facing a man in a stolen body fall?
So, first off, Super Saiyan 4 alone was getting smacked by Shinron. Let's start there. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, fairly overpowered. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, extremely overpowered. So, did they really do anything more than the other one did? No, they did not. They are fairly similar. You can kind of look at Broly's power and be like, Super Saiyan 4 may be comparable to what Broly brought out just because they derive their power from similar means. But I'm gonna say right now, I don't think the dragons were as strong as they were made out to be, because technically the dragon, like Shinron itself, is only as strong as the person that made its Dragon Balls. And if we're talking about the Earth Dragon Balls, they were made by Dende. Are we really trying to say that man Dende almost ended the world?
Wait, pause. You know how the Black Star Dragon Balls even happened?
Yeah, they came from the wishes.
What kind of wishes?
No, they were like one of the wishes was one from bringing Piccolo back to life, or not Piccolo, but Krillin back to
They were
life.
all the
They
wishes
were
were
all
selfish.
just wishes
They were
being made.
they were
They were
selfish
made from the
wishes.
Dragon Balls being used too many times.
Selfish wishes, negative energy, and negative energy. And Dragon Balls are when you gather all 7, you get summon a dragon, and how strong is that dragon giving you a wish? Versus Goku, Zamasu making a wish, stealing Goku's body, using his power. So pretty much Goku's facing himself, but in a lower tier of power.
An immortal version of himself. Let's not forget that part here. Zamasu was technically immortal. Let's not forget that part.
Zamasu was immortal.
And so was Goku Black.
The Goku Black wasn't immortal.
Black. He was immortal.
No, he wasn't immortal. No,
yes,
he wasn't immortal. No, Zamasu. I will 100% fact check this. Zamasu wished himself to be immortal. Goku Black, he wished to have Goku's body. The only reason why Zamasu lost because Goku Black wasn't immortal. That was the loophole to the whole thing.
No, he was not, because you know how they defeated him finally? Goku summoned Zeno to erase him from the world.
Yes, but at the same time, that whole fight was not winnable. Trunks over here with a sword, energy sword, sliced them in half.
You know how Dragon Ball ass pulls stuff, power-ups out of here. You know they had to give Future Trunks another moment because he's like one of the most popular characters in Dragon Ball.
Yes.
You know they had to give that man a moment, give him a fake Super Saiyan Blue to act like he actually did something. You know how this works.
It wasn't a fake Super Saiyan Blue. It was more like the same way how in the Tournament of Power, Vegeta was Super Saiyan Blue and enhanced his Super Saiyan Blue. It's the same thing, enhancing his Super Saiyan. Yeah. So at the same time, you're not going to say that Goku Black wished he was immortal. There's no proof there. I watched the whole freaking arc. Black was not immortal. Zamasu was immortal. That's the whole point.
But Zamasu. So are you saying that the two Super Saiyan Blues
was losing the whole fight? They had to come back how many times? Back to the Future.
Because I mean they were handling Zamasu himself. Like Zamasu was no contest versus Super Saiyan Blues.
Yeah, the one
he was immortal, but he was no contest.
The
Goku
regular
Black,
one,
on the other hand, was Zamasu learning how to use the power of a Saiyan in a god form. Like he was like Goku Black was a god in all intents and purposes. He was a god. He was their ability to go Super Saiyan red or blue in just in a darker body. That's really all Goku Black was, because he was a god and figured out how to channel his Saiyan energy with his god energy. So
get him.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Super Saiyan 4 was basically all of them doing is channeling their inner monkey. That's what Super Saiyan 4 was. They was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna take this big ass monkey and put it in man form, and that's Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
Super
Saiyan 4 didn't have to use Kaioken either.
Do what?
Super Saiyan 4 didn't need to use Kaioken. It's always Kaioken to actually get some extra power. That's what God always freaking did. Let me get some Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue. Come on now. Like, it's always more power. Like, there's always have to link more power. When Super Saiyan 4 did not need to even have extra power. It was already there.
Okay, but both Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta and Goku, separately got smacked by Shenron. Smacked. It wasn't until they fused that they were on equal or higher ground than Shenron. It was Gogeta, not Goku and Vegeta. Gogeta was the one that smacked Shenron.
Okay. And Vegito is just as better.
No.
In blue form.
Okay, that's a whole separate argument.
No, it's not a separate argument.
Vegito
it's still Super Saiyan God.
Vegito as a fusion is not as strong as Gogeta as a fusion.
He failed against Boo and he failed against freaking Zamasu. The other fusion.
They never failed. Vegito never failed against Boo. Their whole plan against Boo was to get absorbed and pull everything out of Boo. If they wanted to win that fight, they were winning that fight.
So I go to a car dealership and say, hey, I know I can get that Corvette over there, but I'd rather get the Honda Civic.
How did you watch the arc? That was their plan.
You choose not to win. You choose not to win.
Vegito's plan was to not get absorbed, to get absorbed, so they can pull not only Gohan out, but Piccolo as well and Trunks out of Boo. That was their plan. And then they went in and saw that there was this fat dude in there also, and they pulled him out, which was a mistake. Because that's when Kid Buu came in and whooped everybody's ass.
Look,
if
I was
Vegito
with both
wanted
of
to
y'all.
win that fight, he is mopping Buu up. No contest.
I was just throwing gas, but he is right on that last part, Daryl. He is 100%. Right.
Yeah, but he took off because at the end of the day, that was just Super Saiyan. That wasn't Super Saiyan God.
Okay, but those are two different. But you brought that fight up trying to say that Vegito was on standing ground with Gogeta. No, he's not.
You're right. He's under. You're right. 100%.
Yeah. Vegito is the lesser of the two fusions.
I'm telling you right now, because Vegito couldn't beat no darn Janemba if we put that straight right now. Janemba will probably wash him. Honestly.
Yeah, Vegito is the lesser of the. But back to your point, bro. I'm not gonna let you sit here and say that Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Super Saiyan God. Are we talking about base Super Saiyan God, like the red-haired God? Are we talking about that version of Super Saiyan God?
We're talking about both red and blue.
I mean, red potentially, because I mean the only way we have to compare their power is to look at the Broly movie and say that Broly's power legitimately came from his channeling his inner Saiyan, the inner ape. You know what I'm saying? That's how Broly got his power-ups. So that's the only comparable way that we can compare these two powers. And Super Saiyan 4 is below what Broly presented in the Broly movie.
We're talking about non-movie. If we go on non-movie, each one in their series, Blue has been showing that literally you don't have enough. You can't win. You have to do something else.
So how many enemies have shown up that Blue can't defeat? We had Jiren and what a fused Zumasu. That was it. Those are the only two enemies that technically Blue has not been able to defeat.
Also,
because Goku overcame Hit.
You could just say most of them Tournament of Power. Honestly,
they overcame Golden Frieza.
It's Frieza. I wouldn't even put that in argument.
Golden Frieza is comparable to Super Saiyan Blue's power. And they overcame that. They're stronger than him now. That Frieza is not a threat anymore. So I mean, you're looking at two people.
Frieza's golden form wasn't based on stamina.
Yes, it was because when in from the movie, Goku and Vegeta both realized that Frieza was stronger than them, but he had not trained in that form long enough to keep that form. So all they had to do was just let his stamina run out, and they could whoop his ass. And then they both became more powerful than Golden Frieza, and Frieza is no longer a threat to the universe to them.
Okay, so give or take, but how much training versus with Blue in the God Super Saiyan Blue form?
Damn it, Daryl, you had me here, and now I'm sliding towards Mace here, bro. You had me, Daryl. You had me. Okay.
No.
Now you're losing me, bro. You're losing me over here.
I'm going to say this. How much training Super Saiyan 4 has to have? How much training does Super Saiyan 4 have to have?
None really, because when you think about it, the main thing about Super Saiyan 4 is being able to channel your Super Saiyan with your monkey. Because Vegeta had no training at Super Saiyan 4, and as soon as he got his tail back, he was able to transform.
Oh, so the tail, extra power, right? So it gets cut off, right?
Well, no, the tail's not extra power. The tail just allows them to transform, and them
No,
being
the,
able to
the tail.
go Super Saiyan as a great ape is what channeled the Super Saiyan 4 transformation.
No, it's proven. The tail does have your strength, a little bit more strength.
No, it doesn't.
It
Look
does.
at Universe 6 Saiyans. They're just as strong.
They're
and
hybrid.
They don't have tails.
A hybrid.
No, they don't have any tails. The Universe 6 Saiyans don't have tails, and they're just as strong.
They're hybrids.
In Caulifla's base Super Saiyan 2, she is just as strong as Goku in his base Super Saiyan 2. There is no difference in power level at Super Saiyan 2 for them.
I'm gonna have to award the victory here to Mase, Daryl.
You know what? It's all good.
With this. He brought the stronger argument here, Daryl. Your argument started fading as he kept hitting you.
No, because we're going off because we're not having the blue and red. We're going off of like Super Saiyan regular. We're going off of regular Super Saiyan.
He has been lumping you over the head with fact after fact, and I can't dispute. Like I said, Daryl, I was already biased in this. Okay, I wanted Mase to lose this argument. Okay, I'll be perfectly honest. I was ready to call Mase loser at the beginning, and now you have made it to where I have to say Mase won this argument. He's right. I mean, what he's saying is factual.
We can continue.
And I fucking hate Dragon Ball. And you know this. Like I think it is the starter anime of all.
But I'm pretty sure we need to keep going on with the show. We just can't let me.
No, yeah. I had to get y'all out of there because, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. My eyes are starting to glaze over because I was like, y'all talk about in Dragon Ball that I don't even know what the hell you talking about, but some of it I did, and he was right. And on top of that, at some point, we have to acknowledge Daryl. Just admit it, you was wrong.
No, not wrong yet. I will prove my fact. I will put my facts on.
Listen, you have whenever we stop recording, if you want to revisit this, trust me, I'm prepared.
Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, but that, ladies and gentlemen, was of course Mace's madness. These two was about to drive me fucking mad, so I had to keep it moving. Okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all something secretly. Here's a big secret that y'all want to know. I think Dragon Ball Z is a anime to get people started on. I thought it should have been ended years ago. It should not have been continually going on because guess what? I can tell you how every arc is going to end. Goku wins. That's how every arc ends. Goku wins. That's what it is. So I'm cool on that. And nobody ever stays dead. It's the dumbest concept ever. You die, but I can wish you back to life.
In my put a last little stamp on this. In my anime lifetime, the only anime that I've seen that doesn't really have character depth but handles the overall like seriousness of the anime well. And I maybe I'm a little biased here, but I have to say One Piece. Nobody really dies, but there is a lot of character development that allows you to see people in new light after they come back at a later date.
So we have to talk about, of course, Mr. Kevin Allen. Did you see what he did? Well, what was reported that he did over the past couple of weeks here, gentlemen? Did you happen to see this story?
Yeah, man, he's a real life superhero.
So for those that don't know, there was an active shooter at a restaurant that the UFC fighter Kevin Holland was at, and him and 3 other gentlemen rushed this active shooter and stopped him from shooting and legitimately held him down and prevented him from killing many people there. Okay, so we have to say, Kevin Holland, you are a real life fucking hero for sure. But I'm gonna ask y'all something.
Listen, you're one of the first candidates for man of the year or person of the year in sports ball, bro.
Just please don't come out as a Trump supporter, because then I'm gonna have to kick you off the damn list. Okay, just don't do that. Just don't come out with a red hat on, dog, because then you just disqualified yourself. Okay, because then I gotta look at you like you're stupid. But I gotta say that what he did, absolutely brave. I don't know if that's how I would react on that situation. I'd probably be trying to get shelter.
Because I mean, people always have these thoughts of grandeur, like, oh, if I'm in a restaurant and somebody come in looking suspicious, that I can, one, spot that, and two, be able to react in a positive manner to not only protect myself and who I'm with, but everybody in there. But realistically, if somebody comes into a restaurant and they got that thing on them, first things first, my people safe,
safety,
and how quick can I get out of this? Like, hey man, I'm gonna just be real with you. If somebody gets shot, that's unfortunate. I just hope me and mines can get out.
That's why we try and tell you guys over and over that these football players, these UFC fighters and stuff like that, they're a different breed. That's a different breed of human right there. Okay. These guys that are like soldiers and all this stuff that are like, hey, let me run right into the battle. They are a different breed than the rest of us. Me, I ain't running towards bullets. This man said, I'm running towards bullets to hopefully prevent others from getting shot. So I must tip a hat to you. But over this last week, we did lose somebody who I know that has played a role in all of our lives here with his great portrayals of characters over his years in wrestling here. We lost the old legend, Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon, however you want to say it, whichever one you knew him by. He was one of the best of all time, in my opinion. Between his character and his in-ring ability, he was consistently able to perform at a level that was not disappointing for the fans ever. So I must say, Scott Hall, it is sad to see you go, especially after the point now to where he had finally gotten himself clean and was like, not doing a lot of the destructive behaviors that he did for such a long time that got him in a really bad spot. But he did also get to live a very full life. He got to see things in this world that, the majority of us are not going to get to see. He got to travel the world. But I will say, it is sad to see the bad guy gone. And in honor of the bad guy being gone, this week's Daryl's Top 5 is Top 5 Scott Hall moments. So, Daryl, start us with number 5.
WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon ladder match. That's a great match to watch. I say that one. That was
legendary.
You can't talk about Razor Ramon without having that match in there. 4 probably be the comeback at No Way Out, reforming the NWO, injecting the poison into the WWE. That was an interesting, clean thing. Start off like a good WrestleMania freaking startup for a promo. Scott Hall versus Stone Cold.
When he took one of the greatest bumps ever.
took the greatest sell of a freaking stunner ever in my life, bouncing off the ropes like he was The Rock. There's only 2 people in this freaking industry could take a stunner and actually make it look super believable. 2 would have to be just walking in the WCW all casually, walking through the crowd, just grabbing a mic and just start talking his shit.
Hey, yo.
Bro, that toothpick looked like it was always hanging on for dear life. I personally can't remember a moment where the toothpick ever fell out. I ain't never seen it. That toothpick was
that boy would be like right here.
That toothpick. You cannot convince me that toothpick was not duct taped to the inside of his mouth, because that must didn't go nowhere. And it was always on the right side. I think I may have seen it on the left maybe once.
Probably rolled it with his tongue and then rolled it right back. That's probably
what I'm saying. Like it was always on the same side. It was the toothpick is probably just as iconic as Razor Ramon is.
And then I say number one.
He's thinking about trolling us, and don't do it, Daryl. Don't do it, Daryl.
Be yourself. Don't let him dissuade you. Be yourself.
Because I know where you're going if you do this. I know where you're going. You know, fucking do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do what? Oh, I'm gonna do it. You know what? The
Number
best
one.
all time moment for Scott Hall was when he used the stun gun and killed Goldberg's streak.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it. As soon as I saw that look in his face where it was like, should I do it? It was like, yeah, I know exactly where he's going. He ain't even gonna talk about when Scott Hall did something great for himself. He gonna talk about when Scott Hall ended the Goldberg streak because he hates Goldberg so much.
Anybody in 2K22 that uses a flipping jackhammer, you lose the match. If it's a fatal 4-way, you lost the match because you're 3 minutes in the air while I'm getting that 1, 2, 3, and you thinking that's a good move. Horrible. Horrible.
I should have known that was
the moment it was decided that he was doing the top 5 of Scott Hall, you should have known what number 1 was. It honestly one.
Oh, bro, I knew
5 through 2 should have been. We should have just 5 through 2 because we knew what number 1 was. We knew what it was going to be.
Why is he this way?
That's stun gun. You heard that. I think they enhanced the volume on that because I watched it again. I'm like, they had to enhance the volume on this.
Of course they did. Of course, because they want to make it seem greater. Like it was. I remember watching that live, and I was like, "This is how this is all gonna end." That is so whack. That is trash. A stun gun is gonna do this, and
the worst 2 nights
power bomb.
Worst 2 nights in wrestling history. Starcade after Goldberg streak, and then that Nitro. Bad. Just horrible.
We ain't gonna talk about that because the worst nights in WCW is when David Arquette became the world heavyweight champion. That'll always be the worst. Period.
That opened him up to an indie wrestling career. Yes.
Oh, you mean so old boy could just stab him into the head with a light bulb, right? You mean that wrestling career?
Yes. Hey, at least he'll be bright.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Mase, tell the people where to find you, bro. Tell the people where to find you. Oh my god. Something is
Twitter.
wrong.
You can follow me at Twitter, funky_stuff09, Instagram named Dime Summer, or Twitch, twitch.tv/swaggymace. It's spelled exactly like it sounds.
Jesus Christ. Mr. Low Janitor himself, tell the people where to find you.
Low Janitor on Twitch, YouTube, Alvarez Effect on Twitter, Instagram. Yay.
Of course, you already know where to find me at JSpanDeMan everywhere. You'll see the ITC logo, or you will see my pretty face. That's right, prettiest guy in the show. See, ooh, look at that, so crispy and fresh and clean. Ooh, boy, no, better be careful. Your lady might fall in love with me and become a fan.
Even David Arquette.
Shut up. Shut up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another episode of your favorite weekly sports show, ITC
Sportsball.
Sportsball.